All right. Hi, everybody. We're going to read chapter 2 of A Dolphin Named Bob today, written by Twig C. George. So, chapter 2, A Mind of Her Own. Remember, Aster was in pretty bad shape when they found her stranded on the beach, and they brought her to the Marine Aquarium, and they found out she has a bacterial infection, so now they're going to try to fix her. So, A Mind of Her Own, chapter 2. After many months of feeding and medical care and a lot of pampering from the trainers, Aster was doing better. However, as Mike had feared, she would never be completely healthy. Her liver was permanently damaged and she would always need special care. She could never be sent home to her family group, her pod, now feeding somewhere off the east coast in the Atlantic Ocean. She would never learn from her aunts and mother how to be part of a group or how to feed and live wild in the sea. Instead, she would learn from a smaller group of dolphins and their human trainers how to survive in 2 million gallons of water at the aquarium's marine mammal pavilion. Lauren named the strandling Aster after the hardy wildflower. Aster grew up under the huge glass dome that covered the pavilion. The pavilion was a handsome arena with 5 curved pools connected by underwater gates and surrounded by a stadium. One pool, the performance pool, was as big as a soccer field. It alone held over 1 million gallons of water. The smallest was the medical pool, where Aster was moved so she could be with the other dolphins while they continued to nurse her back to health. It was a long and tricky process because Aster was so young. Remember, she wasn't even a year old yet. Once Aster regained her strength, it became clear that she had a mind of her own. On some days, she was friendly and cooperative and responded to the 8 other dolphins that lived in the pavilion by tossing balls back and forth and exchanging a wide range of sounds. On other days, she thrashed her tail from side to side and clapping her jaws together, a motion called jaw popping, which warns away other dolphins. On these days, she would not raise her flippers or flukes for her daily checkup, or jump in unison with the other dolphins during training sessions. She would jump alone, executing triple and quadruple flips across the enclosure. Then she would slap her flukes on the water surface and create a commotion among the dolphins in the pavilion. The trainers knew Aster's moods and did not push her to cooperate. They just tried to calm the other dolphins and waited for Aster to join the group again. But there were other days, sad days, when her diseased liver made her ill. On these days, she refused to eat and her eyes became dull. Lauren, Mike, and the other trainers would bring her herring, capelin, and squid, all her favorite foods. They would talk to her and rub her down and worry. When she refused to eat, she did not get any fresh water, which further strained her liver. The staff would watch and wait, wishing she would return to her ornery, wonderful self. Ornery is like how she's kind of fickle. She sometimes is in a good mood and will do everything that they ask, and sometimes she's in a mood to just kind of do her own thing. But they'd prefer that than her being ill. So every day she was well, however, Aster would energetically perform the 11 and 4 o'clock shows. So at the Marine Aquarium, they have shows for the dolphins. As the people enter the stadium, they passed Aster's pool. When she saw them, she would slap her tail on the water. Crack! Babies were startled and cried, and timid visitors scrambled for seats high up in the stands. The older children squealed and ran to the seats in the front rows marked splash zone, hoping for more. When the leaping music started, Aster entered the large pool with the other dolphins. She did a triple flip, then another. The crowd was spellbound. As the music got faster, Aster leaped higher and higher. Finally, she would soar out of the water 23 feet above the heads of the audience. The audience roared and the children screamed with delight. And to top it all, when she landed, she sent a wave of water rolling over the side of the pool, dousing the kids and the few adventurous adults still sitting in the splash zone. Maybe she liked the feeling of being totally alone way up there in the sky. Maybe she liked the view. Maybe she caught a glimpse of the sea beyond the glass dome. No one really knew. What they did know was that Aster was always a great solo performer, a loner, and totally unpredictable. And that's the way it was for 10 years until something happened that changed all their lives. The next chapter is a big surprise.